You are listening to the City Podcast. Unadulterated, non-politically correct, unfiltered, real talk. The city from the inside out. With your hosts, Chad Cranston and Steve Mealing.
All right, welcome to the City Podcast. My name is Steve Mealing.
And this is Chad Cranston. And we'd like to thank everybody from the top of our hearts. I have Peaches in my hand right now. She doesn't want to settle down. She's super excited at this time. But yeah, thanks everybody for all your DMs and all your messages and all your reviews and all your comments. It's been tremendous. Steve's back into play. His back is 100%.
Back isn't into play, but
well, you're pretty much into play now. You can move around.
This is true. So who's our guest this week?
Our guest today is Dom Mazzone. Can I say Mazzone?
Wow, you said that well.
Yeah, did I?
Yeah, nice. You're like a paisan.
But I am a paisan for everybody. Hey, paisan. Are you from? Are you northern Italian?
You know what? A big mix-up. My nonna was from Sardinia, the island.
Yeah, beautiful.
My grandfather was from Bari, all the way on the Adriatic side,
yeah.
and then the other ones are from the southern, from Calabrese.
Calabrese.
Yeah, they were the messed up side of the family.
Yeah.
Extremely dysfunctional and all criminals.
Really?
Yeah.
What they
really
say?
Dysfunctional though, because I think everybody's a criminal nowadays.
That's true, maybe a little bit, but no, I think they were legit criminals. Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah. So ties, it's not a bad thing. So let's your product,
Yeah.
Superhuman Strength, it's amazing. The performance level, so I was telling Dom before, Steve, that before I started using the product, I'm a pessimist. I don't really use too many products. I cut the BCA and I'd use now I'm into the vegan protein only.
Yeah.
I was using
How about this? For those who don't know, maybe drop a little knowledge.
Well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to drop.
What's BCA? What's that?
What is BC? What is a BCA?
Branched chain amino acids.
It's garbage, rubbish. For me, it's rubbish. That is.
Okay.
I don't like it. So what I'm saying to you now is that the product that I've been using, your stuff is legit. It works. It's awesome. I noticed my performance has been up on every level. My cardio, my strength, my conditioning, all have been up in the past, say, 2 months since I was introduced to it at Strive.
Yeah, I think it was.
And what product are you using?
So right now I'm using. I am using your vegan protein.
Yep.
I'm using your vegan protein. I'm using what's the pre stuff called again?
Well, we use Restore, which is our hydration.
Yeah, I use the Restore, and now I'm using
Recovery
right now. I got it in my hand.
Yeah.
You can hear it shaking right now, and I use it religiously. I drink it like water first thing in the morning. I have it for breakfast, right after my shake.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
listen, here's the thing is, there's a lot of supplements out there and there's a lot of protein out there. And the question we get a lot is, all right, who the hell are you guys and why are you different? And the thing is, I want you to kind of think about protein in two different lanes. Your first lane is protein that does something for your body, but you don't actually want to put it in your body. That's one lane. Okay. The other lane is so natural that it's actually not formulated properly and it doesn't get absorbed very well and doesn't really do anything for you. And so what we did is said, okay, what if we did this different? What if we were able to give you all the good effects while also still being natural? So we took and by the way, people don't realize this. Most supplement companies are marketing companies.
Yeah, 100%.
They're not chemistry, laden. They don't have a foundation of science and
product or leased it or
exactly.
And then they just market the product out to the fitness.
That's right.
Because the fitness industry lacks. It's very archaic, and a lot of people don't know that. Well, I'm not talking about performance itself because performance is a totally different thing.
Sure.
But I think that the industry itself lacks of marketing, knowledge of marketing of what's actually really going on. Because they'll push any product out there.
They will, and the thing is, you'll find people that end up whoring several products because they don't know.
Well, even the marketing, on the marketing side, it's kind of like throwing shit at the wall. They're just dumping loads of money in there, loads of I know that one store, was it Popeyes when it first opened up?
Yeah.
Was it
You
Popeyes?
bought something there, you got a t-shirt. And then for 5 months at the gym, I saw everywhere wearing these goddamn Popeye t-shirts.
Shakers.
And they were giving shakers away. It was great marketing.
Yep.
But you know what I mean? The product itself, normally when you have that much marketing going on and that much of a cash dump, the product itself, that's what's paying for the marketing.
Popeyes is really just, they carry
it's just
50 brands, right? Or 100 brands. But I think what you see is since they're marketing companies, the foundation of the company is based on something vastly different than science or performance or any of those things. It's based on margin, right?
Yeah.
So what we did is we took a naturopath, a functional medicine doctor, and an NHL strength coach. We put them all together. We tested on professional athletes for a whole summer and then tweaked the formulas to get them dialed in to go, this is working, this is not working. And then what we did is when we were in the lab, we said, okay, here's the values of it. It's got to be all natural. It's got to be non-GMO, and more people have a gluten insensitivity that they don't even know about, a gluten sensitivity that they're not even aware of. So it's all got to be gluten-free.
So you're hitting all the markers too, as far as trends are concerned.
We had to, but the thing is that, and by the way, Chad, no bullshit. Like, thanks for you talking about your sorry, we're gonna let Chad cough.
Sorry.
Your experience that you're really feeling this, but what's been amazing for us is on a consistent basis, we have an entire spectrum of individuals that are telling us, holy crap, this works. So just, if you don't mind, for instance, so the professional hockey players are telling us that by using our Restore product during the game, all their cramping has gone away on their legs. So all these guys had leg cramps that they were suffering through, and that has now gone away on the ice.
What's that caused by?
Because what's happening is that their muscles are going into an acidic state, just like when we work out, right? We work out, you go really hard, and all of a sudden your muscles aren't working as well anymore because lactic acid is building up and all those things are happening. So our Restore product, our hydration product, basically, and Chad walked out, so we'll say this now while he's gone. And he's been using it, he doesn't realize, but those are branched chain amino acids, electrolytes. But we had a secret kind of ingredient that's in there that if you look closely, it's D-ribose. And D-ribose is the natural sugar that's produced by your cells that product is putting back in. And what has happened is that the muscles don't go acidic, and they're able to keep working efficiently. So we have there's a guy named Dr. Timothy Deacon. He's an orthopedic surgeon. He works with the Argos, and but he himself is an Ironman, and he's in his 50s. And he said to us, he actually did a case study for us. He said, you know what? I did not have a performance increase on my bike for 2 years straight, 0. And he goes, it makes sense. He goes, I'm in my 50s, right? So what we did was he took our Restore product, and his performance went up 5%, and his heart rate remained exactly the same. And that's because the muscles were working more efficiently. We didn't speed them up.
Yeah. There's no caffeine.
There's zero caffeine. There's there is zero. There's nothing in there that would increase your energy. It's none of that. It's all natural stuff. There's no green tea extract. There's none of that. It's just the fact that the muscles did not go acidic, and so they're working so much more efficiently. So we had that. The guy who just won the Canadian 24-hour championship, David Wise, he was using our product during it. So it's all that to people that do hot yoga and go, while I'm doing hot yoga, I've been using your hydration product, and I'm not feeling it. Like, I'm not feeling that depletion that I was feeling before. So that's exciting. So I think the whole point is that, coming up with something that's natural, that actually works, is so far actually a novelty. Like,
it seems almost extreme nowadays, right?
It is.
So everybody's willing to take that shortcut just to get to market.
Well, let me go even one step further, guys. And a lot of people don't know this. And if you're out there and you do take supplements, listen up. A lot of the products that are out there right now, and I won't name brands, but some of the bigger brands out there that you see every day, what's actually on the label is not what's in the bottle.
Well, there seems to be quite an epidemic, speaking to that point, like just exclusively talking about the UFC.
Yeah, I was gonna say the exact same thing with John.
No, just there's guys that are they're popping and testing positive for things they're not even aware of.
That's
now,
right.
Like just going by what we know.
Leota
how much
Machida.
how much truth's there as far as their knowledge is another thing. But
Right.
the products, they're finding the tree where it's manufactured. It's not as sanitary as people think. Like they're ripping through one item and then just emptying it out and not even cleaning the items out and then putting in another item.
Right, and you know what's coming down the pipe is there is a whole load of both Chinese ingredients and Chinese manufacturing going on, and no disrespect to China, they manufacture a lot of great products, but people in China actually want Canadian and U.S. food products because they don't trust it. And those are the Chinese themselves.
There's no shame in that. They absolutely shouldn't trust it. My
It
experience
is.
has been like insane with products coming from China myself, not in a positive way.
Well, it's not good. And so 2 of our products are NSF certified for sport, which means that's full third-party testing. They make sure there's no banned substances in there, and they check it. And the NFL.
That's not cheap either, is it?
Oh man, it's brain damage. Like honestly, when you look through it, it's just it's painful how expensive it is, and the process you go through is extremely painful.
So does it bother you? Like, what's more painful, knowing that and the costs and you actually shelling it out?
Yeah.
Or knowing that other companies are probably claiming they're doing it but aren't?
Well, NSF is got a pretty good police force that goes out, and they'll shut someone down very fast if they say they're NSF certified and they're not.
Kind of equivalent to like USADA.
No, they're
Like the
talking
same
about
kind
a
of, like,
stamp of quality,
authority.
right?
Yeah, like right now, the most recognized quality assurance as far as from a certification standpoint is now NSF, because Major League Baseball, the NFL, NHL, and I believe NBA have all signed on and said to all the teams, these are you will only use an NSF certified product. So that's
And
really
they can
important.
guarantee through their testing.
That's
that
right.
Excludes all the banned substances.
That's right. And how it works is when you're done with a batch, you send 2 containers to NSF, they crack it open and test everything inside for substances.
That's great.
So we'll eventually certify the entire line. And we've had a lot of really patient coaches and athletes saying, "Hey, when are you going to certify this, or when are you going to certify that?"
So they can
they
use
understand because they can use it, but they understand it's really expensive, and we're climbing that ladder right now.
Yeah.
So it's
Are you guys a
good.
private company right now?
Yeah, we're totally a private company. We are a Canadian company. I guess since I'm a U.S. citizen and a Canadian citizen, I guess you
dual.
could call it a cross-border company.
You shouldn't have any problems getting that into the States then.
Well, you know what? All of our product is manufactured right here in Ontario, Canada, and it's in an FDA-approved facility.
Yeah.
So it crosses the
bonus.
border.
Yeah.
It crosses the border, no problem, because it's an FDA-approved facility.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's the same as the other stamp is, more or less. You saw it as a testing after?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After the fact, right?
But I think the other thing too to talk about is, ingredients are critical for all this stuff. Like, I don't know if you've experienced this, Chad, but this is the best thing that I love hearing all the time is everybody comes back to us and says, your product is the first product that didn't hurt my stomach.
Yeah.
Right?
I won't go back. I was doing an isolate for a while. I won't go back.
Well, and the reason is so a lot of people don't realize, and guys, I don't know how deep we want to get on your show about these things.
We go down right down that rabbit hole.
Cool.
Let's go.
So listen, let's cut all the bullshit for everybody about Whey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whey has gotten a really bad name because most of the products out there are Whey blend or Whey concentrate. Whey blend and Whey concentrate basically has all the whack of lactose and everything that you would expect from a dairy product. They're much, much less expensive to source. There's a lot of it out there, and it's cheap stuff. We only use an isolate. So when you think about an isolate, what is an isolate? Well, an isolate is really getting kind of the highest form of that protein molecule, and it strips away almost all the lactose. So there's actually less than 1% lactose in a pure isolate.
Isolates it then.
That's exactly what it does. Hence the
Smart
name.
I am.
Brilliant.
Yeah, a lot of people talk about how smart you are,
Tap it.
Steve.
I know.
Actually, yeah,
It's the internet. It's crazy.
it's true. It's true. So
Or the internets.
The internet.
listen, a lot of people call us the webs.
Sorry,
out-
you're
I could
you're
put-
American. The internets.
put my Chicago accent on and talk about the webs, right? And
That was awesome.
So anyway, so the point is also people don't realize is that there's actually different forms of isolates. There is an 80% whey protein isolate, and then there's a 90% whey protein isolate. The highest form is that 90%. But then we go one step further. We only use 100% grass-fed whey isolate that's hormone-free and antibiotic-free.
That's your GMO free as well.
That's right, and it's all non-GMO. So
Grass.
if you realize your tummy is basically saying, all right, I don't have lactose now. I don't have any of the hormones. I don't have any of the antibiotics. And actually that cow ate grass, which it was supposed to, so it wasn't having stomach issues, right? So that is one of the most, I think the biggest reasons why our whey does not affect you. But for instance, in our Pure Whey product, we have a turmeric and black pepper extract.
Turmeric's so good for you too.
And when you take that combination, it's not only reducing inflammation in your body, but our functional medicine doctor says it's actually reducing inflammation in your gut,
From the turmeric.
so that absorption is better.
Yeah.
Can we go back a second?
Yeah,
You know that we mentioned something about the acid buildup in the muscle.
right.
Now that I don't have acid buildup in the muscle, does that mean that my muscles are recuperating and healing a lot faster?
So it's funny, Chad, we were talking about you while you were gone.
Not good.
Are you using the Restore product during workout?
Yes.
Did you put
Okay.
instructions
Yes.
with this stuff? Or is he
Yes.
just
Yeah, there's some
I mean,
instructions.
it's weird because I drink it no matter what.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm drinking it.
But you like the Restore.
I like it a lot.
So I think the reason you like the Restore is I know you are feeling that branched chain amino acids are not good. The reason that a lot of branched chains out there that you are drinking don't work well is a couple of reasons. Number one is they're not good branched chain amino acids.
Almost
So
like a placebo.
it is, but I could tell you there's two things going on here. Branched chain amino acids in a lot of cases are actually derived from corn. So
problem with its own, right?
your body doesn't like
is it
that.
like 95% GMO global?
It's no, well, yeah, you can get non-GMO corn. Like,
No,
don't
that's
get me
what I'm
wrong,
saying. The
but
production is something ridiculous.
That's right.
95%.
It's cheaper.
because it's cheaper. But the thing is that we actually derive our branch chain from, unfortunately, the most expensive source out there, which is feather. So that's actually feathers.
Feathers, okay.
Yeah, and that's how we derive our branched chain amino acids. So when you take our Restore product, believe it or not, you actually are taking branched chain amino acids, but you are now taking like high pure grade of a branched chain amino. But that combination of that, the electrolytes, the D-ribose, and the NAC is stopping your muscles from going acidic. It's helping to
something
prevent
I
that from going
Dude,
acidic.
I'm honestly like,
So I'm trying
it's
to
amazing.
recover. I lost like half of my thigh from nerve damage from my back. I threw my
Oh.
back out.
Wow.
So I've been trying busting my ass to get my thigh back because I have pretty good size thighs, and the other one just looks like a bone comparatively.
So you got to work it.
Yeah, and the acidic buildup's crazy. Like I'm constantly rubbing.
Oh, you got to listen. We got to get you some Restore, and
Acid buildup at all.
Yeah,
because you don't have because it's actually stopping it from happening, right? So that formulation is really key. But again, remember we're talking ingredients, right?
Yeah.
And when you start talking ingredients and you get to higher quality ingredients, your body
you
says
need less of them.
Yep.
The effects are more obvious.
that's exactly right. And sorry, I'm really glad you mentioned that, Steve. Is the other issue you see out there, and I like this is our calling bullshit on supplements hour. This is turning into.
It needs to be done.
I take zero.
It needs to be done.
It needs to
This
be
is what
done.
it is. It's free speech here, and if you want to hear it, you want to hear it.
I love
But,
it.
like,
I
it
love
needs
it.
to be done.
Yeah, if you don't want
A
it,
lot of
turn it
low
off.
athletes, a lot of like people in the gym just don't know this,
They don't. And the thing is that
and they're selling a certain product at all times. Like that one's the best one. It's like it's the same thing as all the other ones.
that's right. Because you look at the sourcing. So we talked about ingredients, and the thing is, getting really great ingredients. But the other thing you find is the dosages of what they're marketing
giant.
is in there.
Yeah, it's giant.
It's either not enough to make any difference, or it's completely out of whack and your body's going, whoa.
You're pissing it all out.
That's
Right.
right.
Yelling.
That's right. So, like, for instance, when you look at our Pure Whey, we actually have an effective dose of turmeric in our Pure Whey. Of course, our Pure Vegan also uses the same black pepper turmeric.
And that's quality turmeric as well, right?
Quality
There's so many
turmeric.
varying degrees.
That's right.
I'm well aware of.
But the one thing is people have noticed is that if you just took our protein and you shook it in water and you drank it, in the bottom of the cup, you will see a bunch of turmeric in there.
Yeah.
Really?
There's that much in there.
Shake it up. Because I had to pour some a little bit more water. And
Turmeric's
shake it
so
up.
good for you. I love people. So I do have a question.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I got off whey proteins
Right.
a long time ago. For the past 3 years, strictly just using hemp. How does it compare, your product with a hemp product?
Yeah. So
As far as protein is concerned.
Yeah. So what we found is we use a pea protein isolate.
Yeah.
So same idea on the whey. Pea is really great because it's a fantastic protein source and it's very smooth. When you get into some of the other vegan proteins, and really nothing wrong with them or anything like that,
No,
you'll
just
find them
comparative.
very grainy. But what we did is on our pea protein isolate, we wanted to round out the amino acid table, so we put some rice in there, a tiny bit of rice. Rice is really grainy. So we just put a little bit in there to help round out from a nutritional standpoint.
Yeah.
But
Some
what
numbers.
well that's you want to make sure you're getting all the stuff you need.
100%.
But I think the thing is that some people have issues digesting some vegan proteins.
Yep.
And I still believe that our turmeric and black pepper are really helping with that digestion. So that pea protein isolate. So you use vegan, Chad, and I sometimes, depending on what's going on, I'll take a vegan and I'm like, later on in the next day, I'm like, man, I feel jacked from this. Like, because my body absorbed it really well. Yeah. Now what I'm doing is I'm actually doing half and half. So I'll do half of Pure Whey and half of our Pure Vegan post-workout if I'm doing a shake. Otherwise, I'll do just our recovery product because, and we should take a moment to talk about recovery. Why our recovery product is so revolutionary and why all these NHL teams and NFL players and Major League Baseball and all these guys are jumping on board with our product is our recovery product is that Pure Whey isolate like I spoke about, but there's a perfect 1-to-1 ratio of protein to carbohydrates. Why that's important is a lot of people screw up post-workout and just have a protein, but you need a carb. Yeah. And I ask, and by the way, guys, I'm not a scientist here, but I ask our functional medicine, I'm like, why carbs? And they're like, that's the delivery mechanism. Yeah. You need that, need that spike, you need that insulin spike. But then what we did is we took the carb and split that up into two. So we have organic cane sugar as our first step. Okay. And then we've used a pea and a potato starch. No, it's actually a medicinal ingredient in there. It's not as a sweetener. In fact, it's the only product in the entire line that has any sugar in it. But it's used as a medicinal ingredient to get that spike. Okay. And then the pea and potato starch carry and cascade that spike, and it almost becomes like a time release to help the protein continue to deliver to the muscles.
It's kind of like what MCT oil can do as well. It just helps you deliver, smooths it out.
That's right. Yeah. So what's exciting about this, and MCT is a little bit different because it's fat. This is just pure carb to help that spike.
Yeah, I'm saying it kind of slows it. It eases it in, right?
Right.
Because you're getting more out of it.
And then the other critical, by the way, they're all critical ingredients, but the ingredient that I love in there really, besides the protein and the carb is L-glutamine. Okay. So you are getting 5.8 grams, which is a significant dose of L-glutamine in that same formulation. L-glutamine is critical for gut recovery. And a lot of people don't realize that workouts tear you up and your immune system's sitting in your gut, right? So
100%.
So that gut recovery is critical. And so what a lot of people have said is, I used to get sick sometimes with certain workouts, and I'm now not getting sick. And that's that not only are you getting, the right nutrition in from a perspective of that protein and carbs, but you're also getting that L-glutamine in.
So you're getting a full recovery package on that.
That's exactly right. And we also have leucine in there and a little bit of taurine, and then we have a vitamin blend that sits in there as well. That's right, tiny bit. Taurine's gotten a bad name, but it's a very clean dosage of it, and it's critical post-workout. The other thing that's in there is that actually has electrolytes in there. So, Chad, I don't know if you realize too is that recovery also has your electrolytes covered post-workout as well.
Right.
What we've been hearing from both strength coaches, from numerous disciplines, are saying this recovery actually works.
So it sounds like this product itself is perfect for an individual like myself that goes. I generally hit the gym at 6 a.m. when it first opens up. Unfortunately, it's not 24/7 there.
Right.
And then I have the full day ahead of me. So after a solid morning workout, click some recovery down, and you're actually going to be stable for the rest of the morning.
Well, yeah, and depending on timing, right? So, my wife is a great example of this. Okay, so my wife goes, "What the hell?" She goes, "I'm working out." She goes, "I'm working out hard. I'm not seeing any results." And I go, "Yeah, honey, you work out and don't eat for 4 hours.
Just feed herself.
Your body's going catabolic, right? And it's eating itself. So you basically have actually done yourself more harm than good by doing the workout and then not eating anything." So she started using recovery post-workout, and then she's like, "Man, I'm starting to actually see some really good results here." And
So
it's
it'd
like,
be good to have like that and some oatmeal or something like
That's
that.
what I do.
well, I mean,
My oatmeal.
and what a lot of people will do is
Starch.
a lot of people will use our Nourish in a shake, in either as a morning shake
Yeah.
or a post-workout shake.
So the Nourish is the vegan with the fruits.
All the fruits and
That's the one I'm
veggies.
using now.
That'll hold you a bit longer
Yeah.
than even the recovery, because it's just a bit more substantial. That's why we call it Nourish.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of
name, by
athletes.
the way. Good
Thanks. A lot of
the point.
athletes. I know we tried to come up with names that you actually got what it actually was.
Oh, absolutely. Because it's small print, no one can read anyways.
That's right.
What's this fucking do again?
And so many people say that to us. They're like, Nourish, I get it.
Yeah.
But a lot of athletes tell us they're using that as a morning shake, and they're saying it's changing me for the rest of the day. Because I'm actually noticing a change for the rest of the day with that product in the morning. And it's so nice because you take a scoop, and in all full transparency here, we're going to change the scoop size of that because we went way overblown on the protein, because the scoop size currently has 31 grams of protein. We're going to just change that to 25 grams because that's more palatable for
scoop
people.
down the scooper inside
Yeah,
of
we're
it.
going to
Yeah.
we're going to just reduce it just a touch,
yeah.
right?
Mail out to
Because I've been doing
everybody.
3/4 because I can't. I can, but I don't.
but it's
think
too
I need
much.
it. Yeah,
It's
a
too
little bit
much.
I'm doing eggs. Well, I have my eggs in the morning as well too.
Yeah.
Steel cut oats. I'm probably loading about 60 grams of protein in one to
That's
two meals
right.
before 11 o'clock in the morning. Right?
It's a lot. It's a
Makes for a
lot.
solid afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is what's cool about the Nourish is moms. A lot of moms were like, "Man, thank you for this product because we're actually getting our kids to get enough greens in."
Yeah, I can see that.
Because like my kids like constantly go into the cabinet, and we have a protein company, so there's a lot of protein around, and they will sprinkle on their cereal because it tastes so good.
Yeah.
And
See that, huh? He's like, I got it.
Well, no, because somebody told me that, a mother told me that that's what they're doing with the product right now.
yes,
Instead of putting sugar on, they're putting the product
Yeah.
on. The kids don't even notice the difference.
no,
They're getting all the nutrients they basically need to go to school.
they do, and we don't let them overblow it. I mean, they're probably getting 5 grams of protein in them if we let them.
Teachers got to deal with them.
Yeah,
Exactly. Let's go! Woo! 6 plus 6, 18, don't
You know what
stop.
else? You know what else I noticed too is I don't eat coffee.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I 11 o'clock. Okay, I'll have one, but I don't. I'm wide awake. I'm still going. Don't.
probably
I'm just
set
doing
your-
it because it's
Do
something
you
to
normally
do. But
wake up at 11 from a nap and then drink coffee and then go back to a nap?
No, what I'm
now
saying
you
is-
just sleep straight through.
no. What I would do is I'd do my workout, and by 10:30 I'm crashing because my workout's done.
Right.
And then have my coffee to put myself back up to about 1 o'clock, and then I'm eating another meal at 1 o'clock.
Right.
And then another crash would happen, so I got to keep on refilling myself. So at that point, I'm getting into the Tim Hortons donuts, Wonder Bars. You know what I mean? I'm getting into the sugar.
Right.
Into that, and I've cut all that out.
Well, I think what's happening is
Not all of it.
There's you gotta have some fun.
Yeah.
Damn, man, like don't be boring. But I think the thing is a lot of people don't set themselves out right in the morning. Like talk to people. They don't eat breakfast.
Yeah, you know what? There are a lot of people who don't eat breakfast.
They don't.
It's insane.
And the problem is you've set yourself in such a bad place, like as a start out. Now, the second thing is a lot of people that are working out hard don't realize how much you actually have to eat. Like your body is asking for a lot of stuff, and you're like, God, I feel really run down. It's like because you haven't provided your body everything that it needs.
Like not doing an oil change in your car and wondering, you know what I mean?
Or not putting enough oil in the car, right? So I think it's one of those two things. And the thing is now that you've set your body up with enough of the good stuff, it's not asking for the bad stuff to function anymore. It's actually just wanting all that good stuff.
So you're saying going to Tim Hortons in the morning and standing in line for 15 minutes or whatever.
Wrong.
Like there's so many people in these Tim Hortons every morning.
Starbucks.
Starving for food, and they come out with all these things of food. That's not going to cut. It's not going to cut it.
I mean, if you wanna live, and you know, a lot of people tell me like, Dom, you know, it's more of an older generation. They'll go, "What do you want to do? Live forever?" And I'm like, you know what? I just want to live well while I'm here. I want to live well and feel well.
That's coming, whatever that is.
That's right.
The upgrade. We should be here for the upgrade.
I hope we're all here for the upgrade. Yeah,
It's gonna be interesting.
I know. Yeah. I'm hoping for the upgrade. I want new shoulders. I want new knees.
I want a lot of new stuff.
Right? Yeah. So
I think 10 years, I figure.
I think it'll last for a while.
You know what? I have a feeling sales might plummet though.
If with the upgrades?
Yeah.
You know what though? What's interesting about supplements now, I think people are there's two things. There's so much shit out there that it's discouraging, I think, for a lot of people. You go buy a tub of something, it doesn't do anything for you, and you get discouraged. But I think the other thing is a lot of people, though, there's a lot more education about recovery. I'm seeing that more than anything. There's a lot of talk now about recovery. And Steve and you and I were talking before this started, we were talking about pre-workouts. And we have an advisory board of strength coaches and doctors. So some of the strength coaches that sit on our advisory board are, I don't know if you know, there's a guy named Brett Bartholomew out of the U.S. He's a best-selling, he's a New York Times best-selling author.
Sounds familiar.
He works with all the NFL guys. So all the NFL guys really go to him. We work with, there's a functional medicine doctor actually right here in Toronto named Dr. Stephanie Canestraro. So she works with the Leafs, she works with the NFL, she works with celebrities, and not only is her functional medicine, like honestly, like what she understands about the inside of the body is incredible, but she also started her practice as a chiropractor. She's not a normal chiropractor. When you go to her, you'll be like, my shoulder hurts, and then she'll go to some spot, you know, in some other place on your body. She's like, it's all here. Yeah. And so anyways,
deep knowledge there.
Yeah.
If you like that, you'd like a Dr. Rhonda Patrick. Have you ever heard her?
I haven't heard it. No.
Right. Write that name down.
Yeah. Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
I actually first got introduced to her on Joe Rogan, and then I've found her podcast and read a lot of stuff online as well.
She's awesome, right?
Insanely intelligent.
Very
and
smart.
Young, too, so it's like the next level.
She's getting it.
Yes.
Well, what's nice is Steph is right here. Like, she's literally like 15 minutes from where we're sitting right now, and she's just phenomenal. So
book solid though.
She's pretty slammed, but I'm lucky that I get some access to her. She healed me. Like she only deals with data. She's like, if we have data, we can fix you.
Yeah.
So she had me go and send all these tests to the U.S. and data, and it came back that I had some kind of bacterial thing in my gut for decades.
So you did the blood testing, all that kind of stuff?
Actually, it was worse than that. It was like pee and poop tests, basically, that were sent to the U.S.
Right.
And when it came back, it basically said I had something called H. pylori, which is, you know about that?
I got tested for that too, yeah.
Nasty bacteria. So I said, Steph, what's that doing? She's like, it's literally tearing apart your stomach lining. Your food is escaping, like leaky gut.
Like crazy.
And then you're having an autoimmune response because your immune system's attacking it. So we got on this topic, but I'm going to roll with it because it's an incredible story, and that's why I'm such a big advocate of Stephanie. So she prescribed me this supplement regime that was natural, But she's like, look, this is natural antibiotic. But she goes, but this is like clinical grade. She goes, so you're not going to feel so great from this. And she was right. I was taking it and I felt like I was on hardcore antibiotics. But this will freak you guys out. So she wipes out the H. pylori in my system. And I had kidney stones, uric acid kidney stones. Because all of a sudden, no, I knew about it. I had a 13 millimeter stone, and they had a.
That's my worst fear.
Okay, so they had
One
a.
of them.
They had to get that removed, and
Did you get backache and everything?
and that was not a good surgery. Yeah, they go right through your friend.
Don't they do
Like
don't
right,
they do laser
right through your
stuff
friend
now?
down there. That's how they do it.
I thought they did lasers now.
Yeah, but they got to get in there.
Did he put you down?
Yeah, they put me
tied
down.
him down.
Yeah, they put me down. So, anyways, I've been on this medication for uric acid for like 4 or 5 years. Literally, I have now been completely off all that medication.
Yeah.
And all of my stone issues. Because by the way, my stone issues are so bad that if I would eat any type of sugar, I would immediately pee stones, basically.
Oh god.
Yeah, immediately. Like that. And a lot of people don't realize that about uric acid. It's the sugar that's causing the problem. It's not people go, oh, it's the red meat and all that.
The sugar crystallized, yeah.
The sugar is the sugar basically synthesizes into lactic acid, stops your kidney from excreting it, and it starts collecting. And so what ended up happening was, I've been like off sugar forever. And I'm happy that I am. That was a good side effect.
It's
But
a great thing to be off of.
it's a good thing. But I have now been off my medication for like almost a month now.
He's off his meds.
And I'm off my meds, which everyone should watch out if I'm off my meds.
We're in
No.
Queen West, you're
I can
good.
go animal mode any moment. So anyways, I said to her, I was like, Steph, hold on a second. I go, is one connected to the other? And she said, yeah. And she connected all the dots and she said, this is why. But the other thing that's happened so I actually tested this in the last week. My body has been so acidic for the last 10 years. And I've tested it and I've done everything I could because I know an acidic body is harmful.
It's cancers.
My entire body has gone completely alkaline, like hardcore alkaline. And I can't believe this is the first time ever in my life that I've ever been alkaline. It's because she got to the root issue of what the problem was, wiped it out, and now all these incredible things are happening in my body.
Go see her.
So you look like you're a lot younger.
I
I was like, you look like you're 25. I was like,
25.
that's bullshit.
That's it. No, so anyways,
So
it's
please
amazing.
send her information at the end of this podcast.
Yeah, I
Along
will.
with everything else.
I will.
Yeah.
She's not magic. It's just pure science with her. She's all about the data, and she's literally must have an IQ of like 150. So
She's smarter than Trump?
she basically
No, 'cause
she has an
he claimed I was
exponential.
super IQ or something. I thought I saw
He
that.
thinks he's really smart.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, so he did say that, didn't he?
He did say that.
Okay, thanks. We can move along now.
He say that. Yeah,
Thanks for that.
done, solved.
So your background, you got a lot of business acumen. What's going on with your background in this product itself?
I do.
So what is your background? Give us a little bit of gist of who you are.
So
do we get-
just for fun. So I was born in Chicago and I lived there till I was 13, and then we moved to San Diego. And by the way, like culture shock of moving to Chicago to San Diego was just incredible.
Imagine.
I mean, and this was pre-YouTube, right? Like we had no idea what was going on the coast.
Was this in the 70s?
No, it's not 70s. I'm not that old, man. Come on.
All right, 60s.
But yeah, it was a different planet. Like San Diego was a different planet. So anyways, huge culture shock. But anyways, by the time I was 14, I was selling ice cream on the beach. So I got a job and they were like, hey, here's a cooler of ice cream. Go sell it.
Yeah, that's
I was
awesome.
like, done. So we went and sold it. I started my first business when I was 16, which was car detail business. And I was doing that for a while. And my buddy Andreas was my partner, but Andreas was more interested in girls. than working. And I was like, man, I'm on the Tony Montana plan. Like, first you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the woman.
You'll get the girls.
Yeah. I was going, look at me. Oye, ¿qué te pasa ahí? We got to get the ladies, okay? So 16 was full effect of doing that. By the time I was 17, like I mentioned, I was booking American bands in Tijuana. Yeah. Steve and I were talking earlier. Awesome. So I was doing that. Then I had several other businesses in there. And then when I was 20, I just decided, you know what? I think I'm going to be a musician. And just took off to go be a musician for almost 8 years. So I was a hardcore jazz musician.
What'd you play?
I played upright bass.
Okay.
I toured and traveled, and we played like hardcore, like bebop, like blue note stuff. No, because we weren't perpetrating. We were jazz musicians.
Real deal. Yeah, the real deal.
We was real deal, and so
you're in Detroit playing right now.
We were playing everywhere, and we got to play with amazing like people.
Any of your heroes?
Nobody that was a hero of mine per se, but like I don't know if you guys like one night I got to play with Jimmy Smith. He's the famous organ player. Yeah. Badass guy. There were a bunch of guys out in New York I got to play with. There's a guy now named Gregory Porter. He's a jazz singer, like a famous jazz singer. He used to come to our jam sessions all the time and play. So my life was a musician.
So you're 28.
What's that? Till it was about 20. Yeah, till it was about 28. Yeah.
Pretty good at math. So.
Yeah.
20
so
8 years of touring.
And I was touring. And guys, my life, I would wake up in the morning. We'd go to breakfast every day, talk about the music from the night before, and then I would go home and practice for 8 hours
How'd you
a day.
finance this?
We thing is we're jazz musicians, so we had gigs almost 5 or 6 nights a week.
This is true. It's not like a rock band.
No, where you play every once in a while. Yeah. I mean,
so you guys were you were active. You were progressively getting better and better and better.
Because I practiced 8 hours a day, and then we rehearse twice a week, and it was an amazing life. And we'd go. Then every night we'd go to the gig, play. After that, maybe get something to eat, go to sleep, and do the whole thing all over again. So it was a beautiful life. I'm so fortunate that I got to live a life out of the quote unquote rat race. Yeah, I got to do what I wanted to do, and I got a chance to figure out who I was as a person. And then I had the opportunity to do the Buddy Holly story, the theater production of the Buddy Holly story. What? And I wasn't going to do it. I was like, I don't want to go play Buddy Holly music, man. It's like 3 chords. Yeah. But I went and did the music audition, and it was awesome. And I was walking out, and they chased me out, and they said, where are you going? And I said, I'm done. I did the music audition. They said, no, you got to go in front of the director. And I said, yeah, I did. The musical director, man, it's covered. And they go, no, you don't realize. They go, this is Buddy Holly and the Crickets. You're auditioning to be one of the Crickets. You have like a bunch of speaking lines.
Oh, no.
And I was like, really? And she goes, look, I'm going to give you 15 minutes to go over your lines, and then I'm going to bring you in front of the director. And I was like, holy shit. So I 15 minutes I was there, and I walk in, and I swear to God, this is like what happened. I walk in, there's this guy just wearing like a vest, okay?
Was he he's fat?
A little bit.
Did he look like Harvey Weinstein?
No, he didn't actually. He didn't. But he was pretty big and burly. And he was smoking. You weren't supposed to smoke in there. And he brought me in and somebody else, and there was a few people behind the table, and he looks at me and he goes, okay, you're 17, you're from Lubbock, Texas. All you care about is music, pussy, go.
You're like, that's me.
And I was like, oh my gosh. And it was getting like shot out of a cannon. And I literally, in that moment, was almost the funnest 2 minutes of my life. And anyways, I ended up getting the part. And we did it.
So
it was a huge.
For a bit, were you?
It was a huge. Well, kind of like a rocker, like from 1958. Sweet. And we ended up. Show was a huge hit. And then 9 months later, they said, "Do you want to go to Toronto?" and do the show there.
Played up here.
Well, it's funny enough. They said, "You want to go to Toronto?" We're like, "Yeah," and it ended up being in Mississauga, not Toronto. So it was a little bit of a bait and switch, but it was all good.
Oh, you're stuck in Mississauga.
So the good news is I met my wife through that process, which is amazing. She's actually an amazing. I still can't believe she married me. But anyways, I started touring and traveling. So we toured with like Buddy Holly's wife, some of the guys in his original band. Like we were all over North America, just doing not the show but the music, and we ended up turning this into like this incredible concert of like what it would be like to go see Buddy Holly live. We didn't play the songs the same or anything. We're like, no, we're gonna play it like it would have been live.
Yeah.
That was a blast. So anyways, the last thing we did is we promoted a show, which was 23 shows in 28 days. Oh. And after that, I was like, I'm good. I don't want to play music anymore. I'm done.
Yeah.
So came back. I couldn't work in Canada because I didn't have a work permit. So I cold called sales managers in telecom in Chicago.
Yeah.
Got a job in telecom and started getting kind of like I've been selling since I was 14 years old. So I was really comfortable in that environment. So I did well. We wanted to come back to Canada. I came up here and then I worked for Bell. And I managed 5 Fortune 500 accounts for them, wining, dining, contract negotiation, and all that. And but while I was doing that, I was really comfortable. But in my spirit, in my mind, I was always an entrepreneur. So I literally, while I was working at Bell, I can't believe I did this. I started doing some real estate stuff, and then I started an investment fund out of Chicago. Did that. I bought a web hosting company, and then I started consulting on digital, because from that web hosting company, I started learning all this crazy stuff about digital.
Was that 10 years ago or longer than this?
This was 2007. Yeah, so it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was great time, and I couldn't believe how people were making money. And then from there, I started the first internet funeral company. Oh. I actually took the entire funeral business and brought it online. And we did that at a time when that was unheard of. And we cut the cost in half. And from that business, we did all kinds of stuff. We were in Ontario, Illinois, Colorado, California, and we shook up an entire industry. We digitally transformed an industry and just shook the halls. And the old boys club were trying to shut us down. They were trying every dirty trick you could have ever imagined. And we fought them back. And I fortunately got out of that business because funerals are not fun.
Not at all.
Unless you're in Ireland.
Exactly. and who I am and my energy does not mesh with that at all. So
this guy's so happy.
Exactly.
Shut the fuck up. Jesus. I'm really fucking sad here.
So I got out of that, thankfully, and then I started doing consulting. So I had a consulting company prior to that. But by the way, so at that time, I just want to go backwards. I want to let everybody know out there that's thinking about doing their own thing that I, at one time, had a full-time job and I had 3 ongoing businesses all at the same time. You can multitask. You can do it. And I have a 30 balls in the air theory. You throw 30 balls up in the air and you figure out which one needs to stay up.
Yeah.
And it's basically Darwinism, right? Your career and what you're doing and how you're doing things, it's Darwinism, man. It's survival of the fittest. And if something's not working for you, light up another ball, right? Yeah. Make it happen. So anyways, I'm giving you the long story here, but from a consulting side, we had a consulting business and we lit that up. So we consulted on businesses on digital transformation, all that. And we've been doing that for a while. And then we have a private equity side of the business where we invest in businesses and we get involved to help grow businesses and do that. And from that, we actually came upon this business. And the supplement business was interesting because we were going to buy another supplement company.
Can you
But
say which one?
I cannot because I'm going to tell you the rest of the story. We went to go buy this company, and we found out that the CEO of that company, this was in the 11th hour of buying this company, we found out the CEO of that company was using a fake name. And we went,
That's interesting.
So
Why?
due diligence.
Due diligence.
Due diligence.
yeah,
Can you speak much?
Due diligence.
yeah. During that, we found out he was using a fake name. And
You were?
No, I was not.
I thought you said I was using.
No. He
AKA.
he was using a fake name, and we said, okay, we've discovered this. Why were you using a fake name? And it's like, oh, we were younger, and we didn't think people would buy from us, and this and that. So they came up with a fake name. But here's the problem: that guy was put out as some kind of master chemist, and now you're in fraud. So we just backed off and said no, thank you, and we went on our merry way.
Welcome back. Yeah.
So the thing is that kind of told us that was our first like entry into the industry.
You're like, this is sketchy.
It's so sketchy.
That's like
And-
11th hours. Like pretty much, I pulled out your checkbook.
And he's like this. He's like, oh, someone's there.
Yeah.
Someone's there. Get
Yeah.
away with
Wait
this.
for the
Get away
e-transfer.
with this.
Come on.
Oh, he's watching. Send the account.
So but anyways, it was good. So I literally have a true love for business. Like a lot of people, I don't know, it might seem strange to some people, but I really love business and I enjoy it, and I enjoy writing. So my book came out a few years ago, and
Dude,
that
I
was
was gonna ask you this. You gonna write a book?
I did. It's called Digital or Death.
Nice.
It's just
Or is it about the funeral industry?
it's about digital transformation. It's about the change. But you know what's crazy? So I get asked to speak at certain things, and actually I'm teaching an exec MBA course in Ireland next month. And
Look at this guy going.
and-
Go.
You need an assistant.
yeah, you come with me. We'll go to a funeral.
Definitely.
Be up in those mountains with those girls drinking a lot of scotch.
I can handle Ireland. Trust me.
I'm going in and out. I'm not going to hang out. But the thing is that they've asked me to come speak on digital transformation. But what's amazing, like my book was written 3 years ago. The world has changed
Pretty dramatically.
dramatically.
Yeah.
So 3 years ago, you were having to talk companies into digital transformation. You were basically saying like, hey, you need to do this. And now digital transformation is a given. What's really coming down the pipe are three things. Heavy. Robotics,
Yeah.
AI,
Yes.
and VR. If you don't have a strategy for those things in your business model, then you're going to need to think about that.
Well, I think
That's
it's present,
crazy.
even in present day now, like augmented reality as well. It's kind of shuffling through.
It is.
It's on even the new iPhones have it on it.
Yep.
But I think it's going to leave more to like a spin-off of virtual reality. I think somewhere in between,
It is. Well, the thing is, I was
more palatable. I think.
I was in Europe. I want to think now, maybe like a year and a half ago, and I was speaking for a big telecom company, and they asked me, "What do you think is coming down the pipe that would be more life changing for a business like ours?" Because they said we feel very slighted that WhatsApp came along and stole all of our text messaging,
Yeah.
right?
I
And
wonder who that could be.
and they felt uncomfortable. So they said, "What's coming down the pipe?" And I said, "Look, the one thing that I see that's achievable, that has not been done, and it's right there, is that if you could actually take a business meeting and make it completely virtual, where I can see your facial expressions, because facial expressions dictate." I believe the numbers, and I don't have it in my head right now, is almost 60 to 70% of understanding is coming from the face.
Right.
And if you had an actual virtual meeting where you can actually identify everybody's facial expressions and see what's going on, that would be almost more disruptive than anything because you would disrupt so many industries.
See, there's that key word again. Disrupt.
Well, disruption.
Buzzword right
word.
now.
It's massive.
It is a big word right now.
It's a paradigm shift, actually.
And what's interesting is that people get disruption confused with what I like to call features. So people go, look at this thing. It's completely disrupted. It's like, no. You just add another feature on to something that was already there.
Yeah.
True disruptions, true disruptions are the personal computer. That was a true disruption.
Google?
Google to
Or just an add-on to the computer?
it was really a feature.
Yeah, it's a feature.
But the thing is, let me take you down the road really fast here. Virtual reality, from a perspective of a business meeting, you have just now affected commercial airlines. You've affected the taxi business. You've affected the hotel business. You've affected
telecom.
potentially restaurants. You've affected the telecom industry in a positive way because you're going to have to use their pipe.
Kind of like Uber is disruptive.
Well,
It's not a feature.
here's the thing: is Uber was disruptive to the taxi industry.
But also, people think, we'll put it this way, we live in Toronto, right?
Right.
Not New York. Most Torontonians don't walk out the front door and hail a cab.
Right.
You see that in the movie.
It's a little different.
Right?
You're right.
There's like Queen Street, Yonge. There are main streets in Toronto that you can do that, but most of the time not.
Right.
The idea of just going somewhere and planning your exit. For example, if I called a cab company before and I said, I want a cab here at 8:30,
Right.
right? I live in a condo, so they got to buzz up, yada, yada, yada. They wouldn't call my phone unless I gave the number. And the guy would have to get out of the car, park illegally, go and press the button, the whole procedure. And most of the times you'd be on your way down whenever.
Right.
But with Uber, you can see progress, you see when it's coming, so it disrupts everything in a chain reaction that your time's more efficient.
Right.
You know if you have enough time to jump in the shower. You know if you haven't, you're not making someone wait. Therefore, you also aren't incurring more costs. You're also able to get more things done throughout the day. It's efficient because you can plan ahead. It's not very often, unless it's your friend picking you up, that's waiting aside for you.
Right. And by the way, it has completely disrupted all that. There's no question. I think what's interesting though is that when you talk about something like that I'm saying, is that
On the magnitude that you're saying.
the magnitude of how many industries it would actually affect it's really exponential because it goes so far down the line. Like because have you ever walked in the airport during the day on a weekday and you look around?
Not for a long time. It's in business.
It's business. There's so much business travel going on.
There's so much business travel going on that they have their own class.
There is. But here's the other thing is, right?
Business class.
The thing is from a virtual standpoint, if I'm at home and I can enter a virtual meeting room, how much office space do I need?
This is true. Well, you do, but you can do
Or
it
you
at
need a
home.
desk and a suit.
You just need a wall behind you that looks what?
But how much commercial office space do I need?
Not much.
That's what I'm saying. The office now is in the cloud.
Well, how many offices have you opened up over the years?
So I'm allergic to overhead. So there have been several, but for instance, like our supplement company, I will fight tooth and nail to not have a central physical office.
With a what in it?
Just a warehouse or pick.
No, with a boardroom in it.
Well, I don't want it. I don't
That's what I'm
want
saying.
it.
The boardroom, the board table, it's
I don't
the most
want it.
expensive thing in your office.
I don't want any of it. I operate from a home office because when you work 12 hours a day, I can get so much more in and I can see my family and I can spend time with them and I'm happy. You ask any teleworker if they work more at home or if they work more in the office, every single one will tell you they work more at home.
Over 12 hours.
So the same
You
thing.
stop when you stop when you're like, oh.
Yeah.
The same thing
10
could be
o'clock,
kind of
I
said then about an iPhone too, because that was, well, no, it would have been the BlackBerry, because that disrupted a lot of things because people would have to do their emails on the go.
And believe it or not, people don't give that enough credit. I 100% believe with you. Do you remember the first BlackBerry when you got untethered?
Yeah.
I remember being
And
somewhere
we thought it
going,
was awesome.
I can't believe I'm not in an office right now. This is this is amazing.
And then flash forward a few years later, and you're 11 o'clock at night getting emails from people, them expecting you to reply.
That's right.
Not on the clock if you're an office person.
Which then we're into a different realm, which is, wow, we need some
Boundaries.
real soulful maintenance on who I am and what I'm about, and when I'll turn the phone off and when I'll actually turn it on. I think that's so critical. Like, how many people wake up in the morning first thing and turn their phone on?
Well, who turns it off, actually?
Oh, I turn it off every single night.
The phone itself or the ringer?
No, the phone.
Really?
Put it on airplane mode.
Okay, so here's the thing is, guys, like psychologically,
It's bad for you, I know that. Especially when you sleep beside your bed with it.
psychologically, you should turn your phone off because you're sending a signal to your mind that
Yeah,
it's
it's
over. It's totally over. The other thing is, forget about all the radio waves and all that kind of stuff. I mean, if you have an airplane mode, that's even better. But
How's the booty call
Literally
supposed to get
just turn it
through?
right off.
when you don't have to worry about the booty call, you're right.
So that's
you can
the married
afford
guy
that.
versus the non-married guy.
Yeah, if
He's
you're
like,
a
I go
single
to
guy,
bed. The kids are all in bed. The wife's beside
that's a
me.
good
You have it
point.
set before you go to bed.
That's right. But I think the other mistake people make, as far as like mental health, is they wake up first thing in the morning and check their phone.
Every day.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And if you could stop that process, like, I don't know, have you guys read Tools of Titans?
No.
I got the
Sounds
book.
good, though.
You got the book.
Half the
Yeah,
book.
it's sitting there. I haven't read it yet.
So that's Tim Ferriss's book.
Yeah, it's sitting in my bathroom right now.
I have to say, that book knocked me out. And the reason it knocked me out is it was exactly what I was looking for, which is, don't give me any of the fluff. I love reading about people and their own experiences. And it was just directly to it. Boom, 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 boom. So I stole something from that, that Tim Ferriss stole from Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins said,
And he stole that from the 48 Laws of Power.
which, yeah, I'm sure he stole it from someone else, but
I think we should use the word recycle.
we should use the word.
Yeah,
You know what?
that's
That's fair. We should use the word
It's
recycle.
positive.
It is.
End of the day, everything's positive.
One of the things that that he said is that he doesn't meditate in the morning. But one of the things that they noticed in all these individuals is that they did have some sort of practice of, getting in and out of their own head. So Tony Robbins said that he does what's called a priming session in the morning. And it's more of an active thing to do with your brain in the morning. So he said it's 9 minutes in total, 3 minutes of what you're grateful for. So he goes, as simple as if you did this outside, the sun is shining on my face, I'm grateful for that. And then, start ratcheting it up. And then the second thing was, he said, connect with whatever it is your higher power is. Is it the universe? Is it a God? It doesn't matter what it is. Connect with that to heal your body.
How are you connecting with it?
How are you connecting with
Yeah,
it?
how are you connecting with it?
I'm basically just thinking it. I'm basically thinking that, okay, at this moment, I'm connecting with the universe. I'm
Quiet,
connecting.
breathing.
So, believe it or not, I do mine all under the shower. I actually sit down in the shower and do this entire thing. So 3 minutes of what I'm grateful for, 3 minutes connected to that higher power, and it's healing your body, it's healing your mind, it's healing your finances, it's healing your business, it's healing whatever it is. And then 3 minutes of what it is you want to accomplish.
For the day or all the way around?
Interesting you
Whatever
say
it is.
that. I forgot which one it was supposed to be. I think Tony Robbins meant for what it is for your day, but I've been using it more from more of a macro sense on what I want my life to be.
Yeah.
So 3, 3, and 3, 9 minutes in total. That's it. I started that in January, and this literally has been one of the best years of my life because I wake up and I go straight to that. And by the way, Tony Robbins wants you to do like 10 or 15 push-ups before you go in just to kind of get your body,
Blood flowing, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I have to tell you, man, that has changed my life this year. That priming session, that 3, 3, and 3 has, I can't explain to you why it has. I think what it's done is it's generated a focus in me that was never there. And it's given me a moment to be calm first thing in the morning instead of, oh my God,
Gosh,
who
emailing
emailed
What's on
me?
this?
What happened?
Yeah,
You know,
news.
all that
Oh,
kind of
who
stuff.
died? Yeah.
Yeah.
All that crap.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You're clearing your mind.
I'm telling you, if anybody out listening has not done this, do it, and do it for 2 to 3 weeks. And by the way, it's 9 minutes. If you don't have 9 minutes for yourself, then you have there's a bigger
Yeah,
issue.
for sure.
Big issue.
For sure.
And
Sure.
It's like people who say they don't go to the gym because they don't have time.
It's the craziest thing ever.
yeah, well, that
Sometimes you
means
say I don't want to go to the gym.
Or I don't eat right.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I
You
can't
don't want
eat.
to go.
I can't eat
time to
right.
eat.
That means
What?
you don't have time to live. Is what you've just told us.
Dead? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Crazy. Listen, Dom, we got to wrap this up. It's been over an hour.
Wow, that was
We
incredible.
didn't get as much out as the, but you got to come back on this. This is an awesome.
What do you mean? We got lots of info.
We got lots, but I want to get more. There's a lot more going on Dom's head.
Well,
And this is almost like a Tim Ferriss moment here. Next time you come back around, because he's got a lot to say.
Well, I would.
lot
Hey,
of good
listen,
information to say.
I was
A lot
having
of
so
things
much. I was having so much fun, and there's so much to talk about, right?
there always is.
Started off talking superhuman strength, and
That clearly.
You got to get him some. You got to get him some of that stuff, man.
we'll get you some product.
Like I mean, all the way around, like a catered plan. Because I have my plan catered now to my needs,
Right.
and I haven't even noticed people saying you're getting bigger. And I'm like, I don't feel like I'm getting bigger, but I know now. Like now that
No, they're
you've
not
mentioned,
saying you're bloated. Is what they keep.
I'm not bloated. 'Cause I'm
Do you know what's
lean.
weird though?
I'm lean.
You look leaner than the last time I saw you.
Yeah,
I was actually thinking you look leaner.
I am leaner.
We should measure your calves after.
My calves are massive.
A lot of people say that
My legs
about his
are-
calves. Yeah.
I got great calves. I got great calves. I got great
I
calves.
don't think I've ever seen you do a leg day.
Oh, you're not in the gym with me, man. You gotta come to the gym with me first and foremost.
I think he
Stuff-
just called you out.
I did.
Yeah.
Planks and stuff.
Dude, I do that. Whatever.
I went to the Myodex performance last night, and that's a spot.
That's
So I brought the product with me
Oh.
to them. These are the guys you should talk about. It's right on the same lines as what you need to get for athletic performance, because everybody in Toronto's taking it to the next level. There's hardly anybody going to the gym and just lifting weights.
right.
They're doing some high level shit.
Right.
Like
Hold on. What's high level shit?
well, anything that an athlete in hockey, football, gymnastics, baseball, basketball, powerlifting, all that stuff, like they're doing it in a 360-degree approach where the performance, the strength, the conditioning, the training's there, as well as the therapeutic aspect to it, and then the physio aspect as well too. So if
it's
you're
a
not
three-
doing something,
It's a 360 approach. They're not just stuck in one lane. That's what you're saying.
no, they're not. And
So
like
that's
they're,
kind of the modern approach to fitness.
I think so. I think, but specifically here in Toronto, people are taking it to that level more than any other city itself. Like, there's a lot of like. Well, I can't speak for any other city,
I was
but I
just
think
gonna say,
maybe we're
traveling by-
maybe we're catching up to everybody else in the States. But what I've noticed is the performance level that was there was the exact same thing that me and you were doing, or even better than what we were doing when we were playing football down the States, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Like done properly. You
I
know,
think it's that awareness.
professional level too. It's not just a hobby anymore. It's a
not-
career.
It is a career now.
And that awareness
Personal
is there.
trainers have so the more personal
have to.
trainers there are, it's a saturated market. What's the difference between this guy and that guy? Well, they got to look good first of all. If you're gonna have a personal trainer, I'm sorry, but if I'm gonna pay you to train me, you
gotta
better
look
look
better.
fucking good.
Yeah. I know what
Because
you're
I want to
talking
look
about.
good like you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
So the
your
competition goes up. So
your body's your front door.
That's all
If
it
you're a
is,
personal
right?
trainer, your body's your front door.
Yeah.
So people
Surprised how
are
many people don't think.
like when for instance, right now our website's our front door for everybody, right? If you don't have a great looking website, it's great. But as a personal trainer, if you're not in personal trainers, I think don't realize that people are coming to you to aspire to be you,
Yes, 100%.
right?
It's
So
like when
a
you're a
mentor.
performer. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Or in the public eye, you got to spend the money to look good. Be it clothing or I don't know, personal fitness.
optics is critical.
It is what it is. So where can I get your product? First of all, this is the one
Yes.
question I was going to say. Am I
Yeah.
going to Popeyes? Am I going to what's that? GNC?
GNC.
Yeah, so
Hertz.
we're not a GNC, but
This
there
is, you gotta
are
remember, like if I'm listening to this, I don't know your product.
Yes.
I'm sold on it. I'm going to go to
100%.
GNC or Popeyes.
100%. So
Not
right
nutrition
now,
house,
right
right?
now we're starting to get retail across Canada. So we're starting at, so if you're on the West Coast, you can walk into a Reflex store. Reflex is a big supplement company out west you can go to, and we're in there. We're in other stores in other places, but not huge yet. I think if you asked me this question 6 or 8 months from now, I can give you a much bigger
But
list.
the key is everybody has their joint that they go to.
That's right.
Ask for the product.
Well, please. And if you are out there and you're hearing this and you're like, I want this, please go to your store and say, do you have superhuman strength?
What if they say, yes, I do? It shows some guts.
And so yeah, exactly.
So you mean the product.
That could happen.
So if they can't get
Instagram.
it, they ask for it. In the
Yeah.
meantime, while they wait for the stockist
That's
to
right.
grow,
You can go
they
to
direct
superhumanstrength.com.
Boom.
Superhumanstrength.com. You go there, we'll drop ship, and everybody
How's the
that's
shipping on that?
shipping's not expensive. I mean, it's not that expensive, but if you
by weight,
spend
right? Volume.
if you spend over a certain amount, shipping's free.
Okay. So
Which
if
is
you get the full
great.
package. Now, do you guys have prepackaged setup for people, like a description? Say if this is what you're into, you might need to combine these two together.
So glad you said that, because we're in the process of creating that portion, because I always
awesome.
felt people don't know. But what's great is if you go to our products page, what we have done is said, this is for post-workout. This is for recovery. This is for more of a meal replacement. So we've done that for you.
Yep.
What we've wanted to do is come up with a really good matrix to specialize, to say, if you want this, this, and this is what you should be taking. So we're in the process of kind of putting some of those packages together. And I want to do some subscription models for people too, because people like that. People like, hey, send me product. So that stuff will be rolling out in the next month. But right now you can go to superhumanstrength.com. You can jump on there. We'll give you guys a code that you guys can post. So we'll give you a special code for you guys to get 10% off.
Nice.
Let's figure out, what do we want your code to be? Let's figure out right now so we can tell people.
The city podcast TCP.
Okay, so TCP 10 is what we're going to do.
What if you put in TCP 96? Does that mean we get 96% off?
No, it's not.
Okay,
That's
so
not
it's
how
only
that works.
TCP.
Yeah.
TCP,
No.
Okay, this is the one last question I have, and it's
Yeah.
totally relevant to everything, aside from your amazing stories, by the way.
Oh, right on.
This will carry us out. So we got superhumanstrength.com, Superhuman Strength on Twitter, Facebook. What's the
Instagram.
full social media?
Superhuman Strength Inc. is on Instagram and Facebook. Superhuman Pure is on Twitter. Somebody else took Superhuman. Well, they don't let you have a handle that long, so that's how we got screwed on that. But yeah, you can catch us on Instagram on that Superhuman Strength Inc.
Snapchat, anything else?
Just mostly, but we're Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So check us out there, and please come to the website superhumanstrength.com. You'll learn more about the products, and we're just so excited for people to try these things.
It's a Canadian company.
Yeah.
We are.
But this is the deal. This is the last
100%.
question I have. And we can
And we have, by the way, just for anybody in US as well, we have a warehouse in the US. We're ready to ship. It's ready to go. So it'll
Are
work.
you normally within 7 days shipping, or
Yeah, pretty much. I think it depends. Like if you ordered like Friday at 3:00, it might take longer. It depends on when you hit the day. But yeah, usually 7 days we're there.
okay? So here's the first question. How'd you come up with the name?
Oh, that's such a good rate. So there was a conversation going, and I have a buddy named Gary, and they had like an app called Superhuman, which is actually, you could find it called Find Your Superhuman. And that's actually a health and wellness app. If anybody wants to check it out, it's really cool. And we were talking about, I said, hey, we're coming out with a protein company and everything like that. So we talked about using Superhuman in conjunction with each other. That didn't happen so much down the line. But then I was trying to come up with a name to go, okay, first of all, I can't find superhuman.com. That wasn't going to be available.
Such a good name.
And
Superhuman America.
yeah. So what I ended up looking at was, wait a minute, it's not just about superhuman. What we want to do is that everybody has a superhuman strength, whether that be from a physical standpoint, whether it's being a mom or a dad or a teacher or whoever you are, you all have a superhuman strength. And we found that one. I paid a bit of a premium for that domain, and we got the name. And I think to this day, I think it's the perfect name.
Yeah.
It embodies so much more than the physical, and that's what I love about it.
So the thing about a good name is you don't rush it; it just comes to you.
You know what? You could try to push it, and a lot of times it's crap. You're right. There's a right name for everything.
Well, if you're into sales and you know sales, the name, it's got to ring. You got to feel good. We could go through for an hour.
Well, the problem,
Be timeless.
but it works. It works well.
in this industry, it was different because everything is is a Cyto or a Max or a Ionic or an EIC or whatever the heck, and it's like
It should be just called meatball powder.
Meathead.
it is.
Meathead
Meathead
stuff.
powder.
Eat this meathead.
Meathead shit powder. Right?
Yeah, eat this meathead.
You're gonna fart and shit, and it's gonna make you feel like
Don't
crap.
complete your proteins and fart all night.
No, that's what's good about what you guys.
We should put that on. We should put that on the label too. Non-gassy formula, because that's what they all are.
Yeah,
man.
True.
Every fucking gym.
It's all
The change
digestive
room
friendly.
Being near the washrooms in a gym is
disgusting.
the worst thing ever.
Oh god, yeah.
Anyways,
Dom,
okay, well,
very happy, very proud. Thank you very much for the product. Guys, honestly, 100%. You know, I don't bullshit. It's a great product. So go to the website and check it out. Get yourself some superhuman strength. Get it. Go get some performance. Be superhuman.
all right, let's go to the gym. Peace out.
That's good. Chad Cranston, this is City Podcast, and we are
Going to the gym.
Yeah.
Steve Neely.
Perfect. All, thanks.
Hey.